Welcome to Cafecito with Irali. This is your host, Irali, and I hope you all had a great Father's Day weekend. Honestly, I had such a good time. My family and I went to celebrate Father's Day weekend at Harvey Gap. Honestly, I had such a crazy experience. Oh my gosh. Well, the weather was actually really nice and it was super windy, but Eric and I took our niece and our nephew out to go paddleboarding, and honestly, you guys, it was such an adventure. It was so windy. The waves got super big at some point, and if you guys know Harvey, it like pushes you guys out towards like the waterfall. If you know, you know. And you guys, like my niece and my nephew were like not freaking out, but my niece was kind of getting scared a little bit because like the wind got super crazy. And honestly, like paddling back to shore into like our like hangout spot, oh my gosh, you guys, it was hectic. I'm honestly so sore from paddling. Like it was such an adventure and it was so hard. Some of our family members had to get had to get help from the rangers, you guys, pobrecitos. But we made it back to shore safely and everything was okay. Nothing crazy happened, but my niece and my nephew had fun out in the water. It was their first time on there, and yeah, it was a great time, you guys. It was such a great time. We had ceviche. People brought like carne asada, and it was honestly pretty cool. Yeah, and then it was just like a lazy weekend too. And then we saw Gervonta take Dave. What was I saying? Gervonta Tank Davis fight, and that knockout was crazy. It was so fun to see, and we just spent time with our friends, and it was honestly a really fun, productive weekend. Eric and I ran, you guys. I finally joined him last Saturday. He ran, and I just walked the dogs for like an hour. And then this past Saturday and Sunday we ran. On Sunday we ran like 6 miles, and then on Saturday we just ran 3. Yeah. So it was a pretty productive day or weekend, and todavía me toca correr toda esta semana. So I'm really excited. We're like starting to run, you guys. We're starting to like get in the groove of everything. So that's super exciting. And one thing that popped up a lot this weekend was body image. Well, last week and I guess this week. Body image in the male and female world can be very sensitive and something that all of us have obviously gone through. For me, it was super hard to really like love my body, um I guess just like love my body after my prep, just because I know that I wasn't eating the best. I ate a lot of pizza, a lot of bread. I learned how to make homemade bread, so I andaba haciendo mucho pan, and then I started to make like a lot of tortillas, and like I just ate a lot of carbs, or was eating a lot of carbs. And carbs are good for your brain, carbs are good for your muscles, carbs are good for your energy. Just if you overdo it, that's when you start gaining a lot of fat, and that's what happened to me. My body is naturally like super heavy, and like you just get out of the flow of like feeling yourself a lot. And honestly, it's up here. It all comes from the mind. Everything comes from your mental awareness, mental health. Everything just comes through there. And sometimes we do lack that self-love for our own body. And something that I heard over the week was, you're so worried about how you look to others, rather than how you make people feel, rather than how you make people feel. And what's in here, like the love that you have inside, is what matters more than what's on the outside, you know? And so I always have to remind myself, like, Irali, it doesn't matter how you look like to others, it's how you make others feel. And that is something super important that I need to keep in mind, because you know people make mistakes, and I have certainly made mistakes. I'm no one, like, I'm not perfect at all. And I'm like a very emotional person, and I act out on those emotions a lot, and that's something that obviously, like, I'm trying to work on and things like that. And for the most part, like, I act pretty positive, but like if I'm feeling like a certain way, like, you will know that I'm feeling a certain way. And sometimes that's like my toxic trait, and I'm just not afraid to like voice my opinion or voice like how I'm feeling, and you know, stuff like that. And sometimes that can be like my toxic trait, like I was saying. And you know, like, I have struggled a lot with like body image, and so do men. Like, you know, like this past weekend, one of our friends was just like, man, like, I look at myself in the mirror and it's like not me. Like, I've never been this heavy. And you know, like, I just look at myself in the mirror and I just get so disappointed, and I can't stop like drinking alcohol, and like I just can't, like, I just can't do it. Like, I say that I want to work out, and I say that I want to look a certain way, and I say that I want to weigh a certain way, but I just like can't. And you know, it all comes from the mind. It all comes from your mental. It all comes down to if you really want it, right? And I get it. I get like feeling like super super crappy about yourself, cuz I've felt like that too. But it all comes within how much do you want it, how much do you want to reach those goals. And sometimes, like, it's not even really like a certain weight, it's just like how you feel, you know, like when you know that you've been working out and you know that you've been putting in work, it's like, dang, like, I actually do feel really good about myself, because you know that you've been putting in that work, you've been putting in that time in the gym, you know. And that's where I suggest that you guys start, is like little by little. Don't look at the finish line, because if you look at the finish line and you put yourself through like a certain time frame that you want to be there, and you don't get there, like, that can be pretty disappointing. So unless you're on prep, of course, unless you like want to be a bodybuilder, then I suggest you do put a time frame, and you know, get your ass up every day and put that work in. But if you're just like wanting to like live like a healthier lifestyle and like feel good, and you know, look in the mirror and be happy with yourself, like, I don't suggest you put a time frame, because like fitness doesn't have an ending. Like, this is a lifestyle. This is like a long journey, you guys. And so obviously, like, nosotros vamos a, like, I had cake this weekend, and I had like 2 slices of pizza, and like, I'm not killing myself, you know. Like, I know that I put in the work. I know that, like, when it comes down to it, I know that I can, you know, like, when my prep starts, I know that I can like dig in deep, you know, and like fully commit. But you just have to know that about yourself. Like, you just have to be okay with it. Like, just forgive yourself for your past mistakes, for like eating bad or not working out when you wanted to or when you said you would, you know, and start today. Like, today is a new day, you guys. So if you guys want to like commit now, you guys. And I promise you, you won't regret it. And you start slow. You start slow by eliminating one simple habit, like drinking soda, or you know what, like, I'm eating too many tortillas, so stop buying tortillas. Like, finish the pack of tortillas that you have at your house and stop buying tortillas, or stop buying bread, or you know, whatever like habit that you have that you're like, dang, like, I know that I would be more successful if I didn't do this, you know. And I know that you guys can make a list of things that you guys can do better. I do them all the time. I write down lists like, okay, this is what you did wrong this week and how can I fix that, you know? And it's just being aware of those mistakes and do better, right? And no one can force you to do it. So, if you don't know, I am a trainer. I'm a personal trainer here in the Valley. I do online training and in person training. And sometimes there's all levels of where you where I suggest you get a trainer. So, for example, the first level is like no experience in the gym, no experience with eating healthy, no experience of working out. That's like level 1. That's like beginner status. And I totally suggest get a trainer then, so that way you can learn proper form. You can you know I can give you like a meal plan and give you like what to eat every day and like little tips and tricks that go along with the program. And there's like level 2 where it's like, yes, you have experience lifting, but you have like an accountability problem, so you say that you're going to work out but you actually don't. That's when I suggest you also get a trainer. And there are advanced level people as well, where it's like, oh, like you do have experience of lifting several years, but you've plateaued, so like you don't know how to get bigger, you don't know how to grow more, you don't know how to lose more weight, as in like cut fat, things like that. Those are like more advanced. I would say like being like going into a prep, like a bodybuilding show, is like advanced. That's advanced level. It's really intense. But yeah, I suggest, like getting a trainer for yourself, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, because you never know where you can get better at. You don't know what another person's knowledge can help you in. But with that being said, body image is honestly a really tough thing to get used to grow out of, and to grow within love, because I understand, like, when I started my fitness journey, I looked into the mirror and I was like, dang, Irali, like, I don't like how your body looks. Like, you're not at your full potential. You're not putting in work, And then I started going to the gym, and then I started like feeling better about myself. And then, like, there was times where I would get better, and there was times where I would just slack, and I would go out too much, I would be lazy too much, and that's when I started feeling crappy about myself again. So it would be like a cycle of like yo-yoing, kind of like, oh, you're doing good, and then all of a sudden, like, you get used to that body, and then you look at yourself again and it's like, dang, like, I let that all go. So then you go back to the gym, and then it's like you slack off for like another little while, and then it's like you go back. And so what helped me with that is like getting a calendar and writing like every day that I would work out. So usually Mondays are like my leg days, Tuesdays are upper body, Wednesday lower legs again, and then Thursdays upper body, and then Fridays are legs again. So I work out my legs 3 days a week and upper body twice a week. And then I do cardio like five times a week, 5 to 6 times a week. And that's my schedule right now. But I would write each day like check mark Monday, check mark Tuesday, check mark Wednesday. And then, if I was like super exhausted on Thursday, I would just leave Thursday, check mark Friday, and then check mark Saturday, and then Sunday would be like my another day off. I usually like give myself like 2 days a week off. And that's what kind of helped me with my accountability, is like writing down each day that I would go. So that way, because I don't know, this happens to Eric a lot, where he's like, dang, like, I haven't like worked out in a long time. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you've only had like 3 days off this week. And he's like, whoa, you're right. Like, and in his head, it feels like a long time. But in reality, like, he's only had 3 days off in the week, which is like nothing compared to like what he can do, or what he does usually, because he works a lot. And so I'm like, he's like, oh yeah, you're right. And I'm like, so it helps like write down the days that you go to the gym and when you miss it, because when you miss a day, you kind of like feel that guilt. And it's like seeing the calendar and seeing yourself, like the times that you've gone in the month, it's like, whoa, like I actually haven't missed that many days compared to what I was thinking that I missed. So that's what kind of like helps me like um keep in mind, like, oh, I really haven't missed that many days. And then once that becomes a habit, you can either keep doing it if that's working for you. I did it for like maybe like 4 years like that. And then like now it's like engraved in my head. It's like, okay, I missed Wednesday or Thursday, so now I have to work out. Like I don't have a rest day for the next 5 days or whatever. I just make sure that I get 2 days of rest right now. That's my schedule right now at the moment. But that's what I suggest, if that's something that you guys want to do and try in your personal life, that's something I suggest and give advice. And then another thing with body image, it's honestly, I think some people are harder on themselves than they should be. I think that there are lots of ways that you can give yourself time to work on your body image, and there's a lot of ways to help you. So honestly, like, give yourself grace, forgive yourself for the past times that you've given up on yourself. And if you're ready, to commit to yourself and to your body and to your health, start now. And if you need a trainer, hit me up, you guys. My DMs are open with any questions that you guys might have. It's an investment. I know, like, having a trainer isn't cheap, but it's worth it, you guys. It's worth it to have that relationship with somebody, so that way you can always ask me, like, hey, I'm gonna go out to eat, what should I order? Or any question, like, is my form good with this exercise? Can you help me do this? Realizing that this is changing about my personal lifestyle. Like, thank you guys, thank you so much. And like, that's why I love, like, being a trainer, because you just help in all sorts of you help on all sorts of type of things, like mentally, spiritually, physically. And that's what I like to help my clients, like, inside out, because it's such a beautiful thing when you see, like, your client, like, rise from where they thought they could never, like, it's such a beautiful thing, you guys. And I think you guys should give yourself the opportunity to go out there and, I don't know, like, run outside, get a trainer, start working out, going to the gym, going to the park, or even, like, joining, like, those 5K races that are, pretty trendy right now, because you help a good cause. And there's, like, all sorts of things that you guys can do to, like, make yourself, like, feel like you're doing something better. And honestly, you guys, like, I know it's a lot easier said than done, but if you are really feeling, like, super crappy about yourself, like, you really, really need to get up, and you guys need to change something about your day-to-day life. Like, if you're waking up late, wake up earlier and get that exercise done. Get that run in super, super early, before it gets super hot outside, or before you go to work, or before your kids wake up. Get up and change your schedule around. Or a lot of people are, like, night owls too. If you prefer to, like, work out at night, make sure that you guys go to the gym before you head home. Because I remember when I had a 9 to 5 job and I would go home after work, I would just get lazy. And then I would just get lazy and I wouldn't want to get out of my house to go to the gym, So I would just pack my gym bag and take it to work with me. And after work, I would just go straight to the gym, And then I would go home. And then I would rest. I would, cook my meals. And it's just getting out of that habit of, like, feeling crappy about yourself. And no one's gonna do it for you, honestly. Like, if you feel crappy about yourself, that's your feeling, yourself, making yourself feel like that. I'm sure there's like no one out there making you feel like that but yourself. And so it's like you got to do something to help yourself, you know? And sometimes when you're not feeling good about yourself, you start projecting that on others, and others will see that, you know? Like you start being unconfident, you start treating other people crappy, and you start like believing lies in your brain, you know? You start letting the devil inside your brain, and it's like, no, God's got me. God's got me, you know? You got to remind yourself all the time that you're really not crappy, you know? You're fine, you know? But it's just yourself making your mind making you feel that way, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, there's no one else but yourself that can help you. And I know I've been stuck in those situations where it's like I can't I can get out of bed, but I decide not to because my mind is not there yet. And I wouldn't say like depressed, but I would just say like, I don't know, like procrastination, being lazy. I think those are reasons why you say you can't do something, and you say you want it, but you say you can't. And it's like, yes, you can do it. If you really want it, you'd make time for it. And that's where sometimes like I feel like people struggle with. It's like, I don't have time for this, I don't have time for that. And like, it's like trust me, when you can't wipe your ass when you're 80 years old, like you're gonna think about me. And I say that all the time. Like when I'm old, I want to be able to wipe my own ass, you know? I want to be able to get out of bed by myself. I want to be able to shower on my own. I want to be able to, you know, do the daily activities that honestly we take advantage of. We take for granted of. That's what I meant. We take for granted. And it's like daily activities that we do take for granted, like I said, that I want to be able to do when I'm old. That's the thing. Like, I'm so blessed to be able to walk, to be able to talk, to be able to use my hands, use my arms, use my head, use my eyesight. Like literally, like I feel like we take all these things for granted. And sometimes like, and you're making yourself feel bad for being fat, or for not having the body composition that you'd wish you had because of your laziness, when you are blessed to talk, you are blessed to walk, you are blessed to do these things that other people don't have. You know, like there's in bodybuilding, there's a section on there, a division that it's for what is it called, handicapped people. There's people like in wheelchairs that are bodybuilders, you know, and this is like in the Olympia status. So it's like, I don't feel bad for you. Like this is like the hard truth. But if you have those blessings of being able to talk, being able to walk, being able to move your arms, and you aren't paralyzed, you aren't a vegetable, you aren't you know, like have these diseases, like that's, and you're feeling crappy about yourself, like that's your problem. And you need to get up and you need to do something about it, because no one's going to do it for you. And I'm sorry to like tell you like this hard truth, but it's like, come on, like get up and do it, and no one's gonna feel bad for you. I don't feel bad for you because you've done this to yourself. You know, you're getting sick, you have doctor appointments, you have medical bills because of you. You did this to yourself. Like there's nobody else in the world that did this to themselves. You got into this world healthy, being able to do all these things. God blessed you, and you did this to yourself. You know, most of all these chronic diseases are man-made. God gave you this life, and only one life, you guys. So what are you gonna do with it? I want to be old and I want to be running around crazy in the fields with my grandchildren. Like, I want to be able to run around with my children. I want to be able to keep up with them. I want them to look up to me and be like, damn, my mom's strong. My mom and dad, they're super, super strong. And like, I want to be like them, you know? And I don't mean just physically, I mean mentally too. I want to be there too, you know? And that's what I want to do with this podcast. I want to inspire those people. I want to, help you guys grow and help myself grow, because nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. We all, grow out of love, grow into love. We all, think things about yourself, about each other. And it's like, I saw this post the other day. Let me get my phone out. Because I cannot remember these dang quotes, but it's something super simple, and honestly it like helped me out a lot, because I also do get those negative thoughts in my head, and I'm like, and I struggle too, and it's normal, but you also don't want to fall deep into those negative thoughts. And this is what I have for you guys today. It's speak positive words into your life every single morning. Think big, think healing, think success, think peace, think happiness, think growth mindset. Always start the day with positive energy, because you deserve it. And you guys, I loved that so much. It's something that I'm going to try to remember for this rest of the week, because sometimes I have negative thoughts about myself, my business. Everyone wants to have a successful business, and sometimes it doesn't go that way. And so that's when you start spiraling, and it's not good to bring those thoughts in the world, into your universe. God gave you the opportunities that you have for a reason, and we need to keep fighting. Even if it doesn't go your way, you need to apologize if you've made mistakes. I certainly am on my apologizing journey right now, because I've made a lot of mistakes. Like I say, like, hurt people, and I definitely am, working on that right now. And we'll talk about it a little bit more after this break. I hope you guys are enjoying today's episode. We are so thankful to have you here with us. A way to help the podcast grow is by sharing the podcast, liking the podcast, rating the podcast. We are on Spotify and on YouTube, so don't forget to subscribe and follow the podcast. And thank you guys again so much for listening to Cafecito with Irali. Welcome back from break. But anyway, what I was saying, it's okay to have your negative moments, but just know that you are strong. You are capable of fulfilling those dreams, and just no one's got you like you've got yourself. So if you're ever doubting yourself, I feel like it's okay to have those doubts, but at the end of the day, make sure you are talking positive about yourself. A lot of people have opinions about you and what you're doing, and whether te caen bien or not. And honestly, as long as you know that you're doing your best and that you are trying your best, that's all that matters. And whether, I always thought about that, like when playing sports, how like some people aren't good at losing. And what I always tell them, it's like, as long as you know you're trying your best, that's all that matters. And that's what I always say to myself and to Eric. As long as you know you're trying your best, and you know that where you've messed up, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do better, that's all that matters. As long as you want to do better and you apologize for the mistakes, that's all you can do. It's like, that's why God has, that's why Jesus died on the cross, is for our sins. And it's okay to mess up. What I say is, like, always try to apologize and be accountable for your actions. and your mistakes. And that's even for yourself. Like I was saying, it's like, apologize to yourself for messing up. I had a big struggle with my body image, like I said, after my competition, because I messed up. I needed to be accountable for eating junk food, and it's like, I'm the only one that's reliable for my actions, and it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna keep working out, keep making food at my house, like all these things. It's like goes one after the other. It's like you need to apologize to yourself and give yourself grace and let go of those things. And it's like, and do better. We've all got room for improvement, no matter what. Nobody's perfect, and speak positivity into your life, into your work, into your children, into your family, your friends. Tell them you love them. It's like, that's what I've also learned. It's like, bring love into the world. Bring love. That's what we need to be doing. It's bringing love, no hatred. And that's, I feel like that's all the mistakes that are in this world. It's like that we bring hate, and we need to stop doing that. We need to bring love into this world, and everything would be so much better. Like, it's crazy. Like, I've definitely brought hate before, but you know what? Sorry, Lord. Sorry to everyone that I've, been rude to or said hateful things to, because, it's not me. It wasn't the real me. Like I said, hurt people. And I just want to bring love with this podcast and bring positivity. And nobody's perfect, like I've said. And I can't wait for you guys to hear this next episode, because it's going to be crazy. And I hope you guys share this episode with somebody you love, and if someone's struggling, send them this episode. Speak kindness into them and love them, even if you know that they're struggling. And because when I went through like the hardest time of my life, I didn't see anything positive. I didn't see love. I couldn't see it. I was blinded. I was, everything was super negative for me. I hated everyone around me, and it was not okay. And like I said, I'm like in my apologizing era right now, because I hurt people that are really close to me. And I just can't do anything more than like apologize and do better, bring more positivity, bring love. And that's who I really am. I really am loving. I really am kind. I'm generous. And see, these are positive affirmations that we need to be saying about ourselves. If you're struggling with body image, I understand. I get it. There's ways that to help yourself, forgive yourself. Hit me up. Like I said, hit me up, and I get it. I know when you look in the mirror and you say, dang, this is not me. This is not who the real me is. I get it. There's things that you need to be changing on your day-to-day life. And if you're struggling, give yourself time. We only live once, and there's time. Thank God you have time. Other people don't. Thank God you have time to do it. There's still time. There's still time for growth. No matter what age you are, there's still time to do better, to be better. And everyone starts somewhere. You can't compare yourself to others. Just because this guy's fit over here doesn't mean you have to be that kind of fit. Everybody's body is different. If you see someone doing better than you, it's like, how are you doing it? How are you keeping yourself so positive? What are you doing on your day-to-day life to be that person, instead of being envious and hateful, switch those things up, because life is honestly pretty short, and God has a way of humbling you. And it's scary. Cuando Dios te regaña, it's honestly tough, because he does give tough love. And be prepared. If you are on your hateful train right now, God will punish you. God will humble you. And I would say repent for those sins, give glory to God, because we're blessed to be alive. We're blessed to have a roof and have food and have legs to walk, like I said, like to have teeth. Like some people are missing teeth, like you need your teeth to eat, to be able to swallow. Give glory to God, because without him we wouldn't be where we're at, you guys. And we need to keep spreading love. We need to spread positivity out here. And I hope you guys have enjoyed today's episode. I know I went on a little rant, and next episode is going to be crazy. So, if you guys want to, keep up with us, follow us on the pod, follow Cafecito with Irali on Instagram, follow us on Spotify, on YouTube. I would love your guys' feedback. A like and a comment goes a long way, and it would really, really help out this podcast. It's just me, you guys. It's Irali, and I am so thankful for your guys' support, and glory to God for giving me this opportunity of being here and giving me this mic. And hopefully I impact some lives out there, and I give it all to you guys and to God. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Yeah,